listen. All right. Just listen to what I say. When I say one, you say two. When I say win, you say for you. One, win. When I say three, you say four. When I say win, you say some more. Three, win. When I say five, you say six. When I say win, you say for kicks. Five, win. When I say seven, you say eight. When I say win, you say it's great. Seven, win. When I say nine, you say 10. When I say win, you say again. 9, 10, win, again, win, again, win, again.
Somewhere between 2006 and 2009, Brees went from being a real good story and a good leader and an MVP type of guy because of everything to, oh, wait a minute, this guy is the next Dan Marino.
But going into 07 and 08, you know, with a 7-9 and an 8-8 season, I think we realized, all right, this is a little bit tougher than, you know, maybe we expected, anticipated.
We felt like we're better than this. Our record doesn't indicate the amount of talent we have in the room.
But we have learned so much during that stretch. You learn more from failure than you do from success.
We knew we had every single element that it took to be a championship organization. It was just a matter of putting in the work and then showing up on Sundays to handle business.
I felt like not only had we learned so much from 07 and 08, but the right pieces were in place. You know, we had made some trades and acquisitions and some draft classes that all of a sudden were starting to mature and come together, and it was just beginning to boil. Like we were hitting that tipping point where all of a sudden we were going to come alive.
It was a totally different mindset, approach, culture in that locker room.
It was exciting. I mean, we had a great group of guys that we're so close to today.
The veteran players on both sides of the ball and the way that guys worked for one another and cared about one another.
And we all had Bible study together. You know, we all hung out together.
At off-season workouts, guys are finishing, guys are rooting for each other.
We're competitive. We wanted to be the best.
We're competing, but everybody's flowing, nobody's complaining.
It got fiery at times.
They were going at it, offense versus defense in practices. You could have charged admission for those practices and people would have gotten their money's worth.
We had our battles and you'd fight, but it was like fighting with your brother.
The guys really loved coming to work to be with each other.
We're acting like a family.
And when you're family, you know, special things happen.
From the very beginning, I think we felt like this was our year.
Gosh, the Super Bowl season is, it's such a blur. I mean, it's such a blur. I just wish I could rewind and just watch the entire thing with a big bucket of popcorn and enjoy every aspect of it.
The Saints were a freight train in 2009. They win the first game over the Lions by 50-something to whatever, and they're winning games left and right, scoring in the 40s, scoring in the 50s. The offense is rolling, the defense is rolling.
Things were clicking for us. Things was going the right direction for us. Offense, defense, special teams, everything was clicking.
I mean, yeah. I mean, once you win about 7 or 8 games in a row, you're like, okay, we're really good.
Every season requires those wins that build confidence, belief, momentum, and just that, you know, we can do it mentality.
So I'll never forget the game where they're at Miami.
Miami
was that was a battle.
Where we go on the road and we're down 21 points.
And they needed some turnovers and they needed Drew Brees to go for it on 4th down. And
you know, he's bringing us back, and he obviously had the one where he
dive over the goal line, and he ran one in and dunked over the goalpost.
On the ground twice.
Find a way offensively and defensively, play after play, just fight our way back.
It showed our toughness.
The Washington game where we go on the road, going there and knowing that we're in for an all-day sucker, you know, and they get up by a lot. And
things were a little rough. Things weren't clicking the same. It wasn't running smoothly as the other games that we played.
And we throw an interception. Robert Meacham
runs it down, strips the ball.
I remember blocking for him to at least give him some room.
Comes back, you come away with points off that. It is incredible.
But you know, that right there showed like, yo, that was toughness. No, Yes, we messed up. We got your back, Drew.
End of the game, if they make a field goal, they basically ice it.
Kick is on the way, and it is no good. He missed the chip shot with 150.
And we find a way to get some pressure. They miss it. We go down, we score overtime, we get it back, we kick the field goal.
Good. Let's go home, everybody, as 12-0 champions of the NFC South.
We go running out of that locker room just like.
I don't know if we should have won that one, but good teams find a way to win. It's not luck. You just create opportunities to find success at the end of the day. I mean,
we can overcome any odds. We can beat anybody, anywhere, anytime.
That was the moment that most of us were really on board with. We should win a Super Bowl, just with the level that we were playing at.
It became clear that this was a really special team.
The regular season just puts you in a position for the playoffs. The playoffs is the prize, and then the grand prize is the Super Bowl.
One of the best things about the Saints' playoff run in 2009 is it was no fluke. So here's who Drew Brees beats the other quarterbacks that he faces in the playoffs there. Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, and the Arizona Cardinals come into the Superdome in the divisional round. No problem, they take care of them. Brett Favre, Hall of Famer, and the Minnesota Vikings come in the NFC Championship game. A little bit of a tighter game.
oh boy. What's scary is that game is almost a blur. I just remember the atmosphere and the setting of, it was a heavyweight fight.
First of all, Minnesota was an unbelievable team.
Oh yeah. I'm not a very nervous guy, you could say, but during that game, I was just on edge.
Half the Pro Bowl NFC team was Minnesota players. They were so talented.
You gotta be kidding me, boys.
I just remember the battles across the board. It was a heavyweight slugfest.
It was kind of a test for us. How good is this Saints team? Can they beat the elite of the elite?
So hard fought on both sides. I mean, everybody just pouring everything they had into that game. And then coming down to the very end where, our defense, Tracy Porter, get the interception. It goes to OT. Pierre Thomas, a great return. Going for it on fourth down where this is make or break, right? This is the game. We get it, first down, puts us in field goal range, and then here comes Garrett Hartley.
So you're lining up for the winning field goal in overtime to send the New Orleans Saints for the first time in organization history to the Super Bowl, and it all rides on this one play.
Everybody was thinking this to make this field goal for the city. Don't make it for us. Don't make it for just me as an individual. Make this for the city. Make this for everyone.
And he puts it right through the uprights and hits the fleur-de-lis.
Put it right down the middle. He was like, okay, here y'all go.
And just to see that ball going through the uprights and knowing that you're going to a Super Bowl, incredible feeling. Not to mention you're in the Superdome and that place was going nuts.
Like that feeling still gives me goosebumps to this day just thinking about it. And
it was amazing. That ball goes through and then you realize we are going to Miami. We are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, the Saints are in the Super Bowl.
What a circus the entire Super Bowl week is. Amazing that they find time to jam a football game in the middle of this three-ring circus of activity that they have.
But the Super Bowl is a night game. So these guys have all this time, and they're kind of sitting around and it's just like this weird, limbo where you've got all this energy.
Your mind races knowing that millions of people are about to watch you.
We were the newcomers. We were the wide-eyed, walking in the stadium, having no idea what to expect.
I was in a hotel room with the baby, and then my mom was there as well. And so Drew was like, can you come to my room and just watch a movie? Can we just watch a movie? I just need to calm down. And so my mom watched the baby, and I remember we just laid in bed and watched Major League. But it was a crazy experience.
On the flip side, here's the Indianapolis Colts, veteran team. They had just won a Super Bowl 4 years previous at that exact spot.
As an offensive tackle for an offense that throws the ball a lot against two of the best defensive ends in the world, and Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, you had some condor-sized butterflies at times. But
the biggest challenge for us is just going to be the start of this game and just,
Well,
third down play. Manning's going to the end zone, and the ball is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
The Super Bowl couldn't have started any worse for the Saints.
And sure enough, they come out, bang, 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 they score 10 points, and it's 10-0. So you're all right, let's calm down and realize that this is just a football game. It's the Super Bowl, but it's just a football game.
And one of the hidden things that really helped them was Garrett Hartley, the kicker, makes 2 long field goals, both over 40 yards, before halftime.
Which was huge because all of a sudden you go from 10-0 to 10-6. It's a one-possession game. And not only one possession, but touchdown puts you in the lead. And that's when Coach Payton makes the call in the locker room at halftime that here comes ambush, here comes the onside kick.
Looking at every time he comes off the field. Onside kick to start the second half. And the ball bounces off the hands of the Colt. And it looks like the Saints had it for a second. How about this way to start the second half? And Saints football. They recover the onside kick. What a fearless start to the second half. Really.
At some point, Drew got really hot.
He leads them on a touchdown drive to go ahead in this game, completing all 8 of his pass attempts to 8 different receivers.
And it was just completion after completion after completion after completion.
One to Colston, one to Reggie, one to Pierre, whatever it was on that drive, he hit everybody.
Okay, wait a second. We're ahead now, okay?
There's 5 minutes left in the game. We're in Miami. We're playing in a Super Bowl against Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts. And we're up by 7. Just taking it in.
Picked off. Look out.
Tracy Porter cuts in front. He takes it back. He houses it for a touchdown. We're up by 14 and we're going to win a Super Bowl.
What's so funny is that once you got to the field of the Super Bowl, there were so many cameras and there were so many reporters and so many people that people were just pushing and shoving everywhere. And I ended up giving Drew the baby, Balin, because I was kind of worried for Balin. And Drew was up, on the podium with the stairs right there. And so I was like, love, just take the baby. And so it was more of kind of like a safety thing because you're just getting pushed around. And
there's no question that image of Drew Brees holding up his son under the confetti, it's a lasting image in New Orleans. I think it's a lasting image in the sport. I mean, they probably should have trademarked the baby wearing the earphones. That's their thing forever. That's Balin Brees right there.
It was my idea for the earphones. It was funny, our good friends are Adrian and Nina Young. And so Adrian Young is the drummer for No Doubt. So they have kids, and I remember us talking about, what do I do with the noise? Because that's what you love about the Dome. It is so loud, and there's times I walk away from a headache, a game with a headache. And so she was saying when we go and watch Adrian play, I put, these earphones on the baby. So I can't take credit for that at all.
We think about the Super Bowl moment, often, how that was a moment that I dreamed about, ever since I entered this league. I hope I can win a championship, and when I do, I hope that I have my child to share that with, and it's just awesome.